So good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Bonnie Sachs, and this is my happy half hour. I'm actually totally cracking myself up because just 2 minutes ago it started pouring rain, and I decided that my cushions on my sofa could not get wet. So I was outside pulling them in, and I looked like a drowned rat. So I'm just making myself laugh. My name again is Bonnie Sachs. This is my happy half hour. I am the award winning author of The Health and Happiness Guide to the Universal Laws, and I love doing these Monday morning talks to have some conversations about some spiritual topics that we don't often get a lot of great information about. So, good morning to David and to Robin. Hadar, it's great to see you. And I'm just sort of wiping myself off with the rain that is all over me. So anyway, this morning, I think this is really cool. I don't know how many of you had an opportunity to see the picture that I posted. I actually posted a picture of a toilet paper tube and a picture of the chakras the way we always see them. It was a great picture of a woman sitting in the lotus position, and all of the chakras lit up in the colors red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. And I purposely posted that to have a conversation about the chakras today. How cool is that? Good morning, Jessica and Gretchen. It is great to see you guys here. Love to see you all this morning. We're going to talk about chakras because that's what showed up for me this morning was chakras. You know, when I wake up on Monday morning, I'm always like, all right, come on, give me some information. What are we going to be talking about? And even when I get the information, I'm not always sure that that's actually what I'm going to be talking about. So we may make a sharp right turn into some other conversation. But at the moment, we're going to talk about chakras. So what I love about this conversation, Desiree, good morning, is that chakras have a very definite belief system attached to them, right? When I started doing yoga and I first heard about chakras, it was this entire conversation about the chakras where they were, that the first chakra was down at your sacrum, that it was down really low and it was red, and then the second chakra was, you know, where around your belly, and sort of where a woman's uterus is. The second chakra was there, and that was, you know, orange. And then the third chakra, you went up and it was kind of like underneath your ribs where your diaphragm is, and that one was yellow, and so on. And I could go all the way up them. The fourth chakra is your heart chakra. That one is green, right? Your fifth chakra is your throat chakra, and that one is blue. Your sixth chakra is your third eye. A lot of people talk about that one. And that one is often some shade of purple or indigo, could be violet. There's lots of different colors that people call that. And then your seventh chakra is your crown chakra, and that's at the top of your head. So that is traditionally what people know as your chakras, and I'm here to mix it all up and throw it all into some sort of different conversation, because that's not the case at all. That is not the situation for us. When you start to see energy, you start to see that the chakras actually look significantly different than what people may describe them as. Not everybody, but your chakras are definitely not those colors. Very first thing, your chakras are definitely not those colors. Your first chakra is not red. And if it were red, we would be having to, you know, blow it up, replace it, give it some more information. So, in fact, the way I see chakras, and I often have this conversation with people, I do see them as kind of in the shape of a paper, a toilet paper tube, right? Just the gray part, which is why I posted that picture. I see them like that, not in color, but in shape. If they were that color, then there would be tons and tons of low frequencies in there. But I see them in that tubular-like shape, and I usually see them going across the body in this way. I do have a friend we were in business together, and she saw them kind of long ways, where she saw like the circle of them. I don't have an explanation for that, but that's not how I see them, and I'm just giving you that as an option. But the way I see them is sort of iridescent and kind of sparkly. You know that glitter, the little confetti that you can buy that is iridescent? That's kind of how I see them. Or sometimes there's wrapping paper that when you shift the paper, the colors change constantly, and they're kind of picking up the colors of the rainbow. So that might be where that rainbow thing came from. But they're actually more iridescent is how I would say it. And there's tons of information packed into each one of the chakras. So now when I look at them, and remember that I haven't always been able to see, and I don't always see everything, and I only see what my soul shows me. But when I look at them, what I see is geometrics and math equations and all sorts of information. They're now giving me the example of my passcode for Spotify, which is some crazy 21 letter piece of information. But it's all of this different geometrics and math equations, scientific equations. If you could just imagine that you're looking at a chalkboard where somebody has, done all those fancy math equations, sort of like that. That's what it looks like. And they're constantly moving around and shifting and changing. The colors are constantly changing and shifting. It has to do with what is happening in each one of those chakras. They're constantly moving around. The chakras are our power centers. It's where we go and pull energetic power from. As I said, when I first started yoga, I had this picture of what the chakras look like. And I just thought it was really weird that I never learned about chakras when I studied biology. They are not physically in your body. They are actually energy systems. So the way that you would see them is when you can see energy. And then you can also just start to know that they're there as well, right? So that is how the chakras kind of look, and they're constantly changing. And all of us have chakras. As my dog walks over here looking at me like, okay, come on, put me up on the chair, I'm reminded that animals have chakras and plants have chakras. We all have chakras because we have energy. I know she has been a doozy this morning, my dog. Give me 1 second here. See, we're going to actually give you, look, see, here she is. Did you want to be famous? That's about what she says on the subject of chakras. It's like, yeah. Just put me down and leave me alone. So back to chakras. That's Jasmine, in case anybody wanted to know. That was Jasmine. So the chakras are energy systems. It's where we pull energy from. It's where we are getting our information from. So we do have a first chakra. And the first chakra, if you're a guy, is handling all your sexual function down at the base of your spine. It's handling that. For women, it is also where your safety and security. For men, safety, security as well. It's your base. It's the place where you settle into who you are and why you are here. That's what the first chakra does. It also handles all those organs down in the very bottom of your body, all of the organs there. When you move up to the second chakra is the one that they always talk about being orange. It is actually not orange, but that is your chakra where women pull their creativity. It's where they pull their development, where they pull their being sexual and being creative. All of that kind of stuff is pulled down in the second chakra. Aaron, animals actually do have an extra chakra. I'm trying to remember where it shows up. I don't remember off the top of my head, but they do have an additional chakra. So back to ours, you know, our second chakra is handling all of that creative information. If you find yourself stuck in being creative and stepping into your creative power, you may want to have somebody take a look at your second chakra, or you may want to look at your second chakra. There's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't be creative, so it doesn't just sit there, but it is another place to go and look. You know, your third chakra is the power center. That's really where you pull all your power from. It's where people will often talk about where they set boundaries from. And I do often see that when people have trouble setting boundaries, I go into the third chakra and I start working in there and moving out the low frequencies that exist there. And we can start moving out that the low frequencies, the fear, the anger, the pain, the unconsciousness that sits down there. And then people can start stepping more into their power and having a greater sense of what they're here to do and how they're meant to show up in the world. That's the third chakra. You know, the fourth chakra is the heart chakra. And the heart chakra is super cool. The heart chakra actually runs your hands. That's what lets you are able to move your hands. The heart chakra is the center of the chakra system that sits on your body. It is the place where everything runs through. Everything runs through the heart. So it's so cool, such a cool place to go in and work and clean out. And then, of course, you have your fifth chakra. And the fifth chakra, I love, it's so fascinating to me because it sits in your throat. And that one is absolutely true. It is about communication. It is about speaking up, not speaking your truth, but let's know that sometimes we can speak our truth and it's not necessarily our truth, but it's our being's truth. And we want to make sure that we know that it's not always that. But our throat is another big power center. It's another central place for the information for our chakra. And our throats are a place that can be constantly under attack. And when I say under attack, what I mean is there are a lot of low frequencies that want to gather here. If you think about how easy it is to go into anger or fear and to voice that, right? To speak it. And when we speak that, we've talked about that before, when we speak that stuff out into the world, we are creating more of it. So if you find yourself in a place where you're fearful about something, maybe you're fearful about the weather, you're fearful about politics, something that is happening in your particular life, know that this is where you want to work. You want to ask for a lot of healing in your throat, because that is what is going to start to shift what you're creating out in the world, right? As you start speaking more clearly and speaking more of what is truth for you, how you really are here to show up in the world, then you start creating more of it out there in the world. So it's really important for us to work on our fifth chakras and to make sure they're as clean as they can possibly be on a regular basis. Our sixth chakra, I love this one. I love this one because our sixth chakra is our third eye, and people all over the internet are constantly talking about cleaning their third eye. I actually saw somebody ask the question about how you can wash your third eye and clean it out. Cleansing the third eye. And I just thought that was so interesting because it's like not something you can actually wash and clean per se. So it is not something like a physical eye. It is your third eye, and it actually sits not on your forehead, but back in the middle of your brain, back close to your pituitary gland. And so your third eye is what gives you more access to your psychic sight. But remember, we've talked about psychic sight before. We've talked about being clairvoyant, and we actually have a clairvoyant grid that runs from the very top of our chakras down to our feet. And that is just as much responsible for your clairvoyance, for your psychic sight, as your third eye is. So many people get caught up in doing things for the third eye. How can I open my third eye? How can I connect more with my third eye? And it's really, really important for us to know that there is so much more to psychic sight than just the third eye. We have that grid system, but remember, as in all things, our soul is in charge. And if our soul is like, you are not getting that psychic sight until you have more clarity about what you're seeing, you have more claircognizance, or maybe you have less of something. For me, it was less judgment. Maybe it's that you have less judgment that shows up. However it is definitely something that we want to know, that it's more than just our sixth chakra. Good morning, Aaron, and good morning, Laura. It's great to see you guys. It's great to see you guys here. We're actually talking about the chakras, and we're actually moving up to the seventh chakra. And the seventh chakra is the one that looks different. The seventh chakra, it's kind of funny when I think about it. If it looked like we had a toilet paper tube on our head, we would have like this little, round tube that goes across the top of our head. And we actually don't have a round tube across the top of our head. What we actually have is one big ring that circles in one direction, and then a smaller inner ring that circles in the opposite direction. And that is what our seventh chakra looks like. And our seventh chakra is what connects us to more divinity, connects us to more of our knowing. And that can be really cool. And of course, that means we want to clean more of that out. We want to have more awareness of who we are and why we're here and what we're showing up to do. Good morning, Jill. It's great to see you. We are talking about the chakras, and I just finished talking about the seven chakras. We have other chakras. We have many other chakras that most people don't even talk about. People are just starting to talk about the chakras that are off the body. The eighth chakra actually sits about 18 inches above our head. And the eighth chakra is a really cool chakra because it connects us to more information with our Akashic records. It connects us with more information of our past lives and our connections. So I have to be really careful. It's like my computer wants to turn me off today. Having a day here with technology. So our eighth chakra sits about 18 inches off our head. And then our ninth chakra, we also all have a ninth chakra. And our ninth chakra is actually our astral chakra, right? That's the chakra that manages all of our astral experiences and connects us to the astral plane. It's a very interesting place to see that chakra. And of course, the astral plane is a very interesting place as well. But that eighth chakra connects us to what we're doing when we're sleeping. That's that when we're visiting the astral plane. We're doing a lot of that all the time. Our souls are doing that, right? Not our personalities and not our bodies, just our souls. So in our ninth chakra, then we also have our 10th chakra. And our 10th chakra is connecting us to the cosmos. And so that's a very, a great place to go in and clean up those chakras. If you can imagine how much stuff we could possibly collect. We have collected in the past, not currently collecting. How much stuff we have collected, we want to make sure that we keep those chakras clean, which sort of leads me into the idea of that cleaning the chakras. We can replace them. We can upgrade them. We want to do that as often as we possibly can. We also want to take care about who we're asking to do that. And I have several people that I recommend who can do that work, who can replace your chakras. Sometimes we actually blow them up, blow the chakras up and just replace them. When we blow a chakra up, we actually take the information that's in there and we put it We put it in your soul personality memory bank. It's like the soul personality memory bank is like your iCloud, and we back the information up to your iCloud, and then we blow up the chakra, and then we create a new chakra. And that's sometimes easier because of those low frequencies. Remember, we're always talking about those low frequencies that are in the chakras. That's what stops us from accessing more of the information that we hold in our chakras, those low frequencies: fear, pain, anger, unconsciousness, unworthiness. Those are kind of the general themes, right? And then we can get into worry and concern and shame and blame and all of those other ones. But those frequencies are often in our chakras. We see tons and tons of those low frequencies in there. So we blow up the chakra, give you a new chakra. We want to upgrade it. We put more crystals in the chakras, put more energetic gifts into the chakras so that you have more access to your information. What was very cool was, as I was starting writing some information down, like, oh, let me make sure I talk about this. Let me make sure I talk about this conversation and that conversation. It's like connecting to more information. One of the really cool things we want to do for our chakras is connect to more information. So we often bring in gold lines of communication so that we can connect the chakras to different places in the cosmos, different crystal libraries where they can get some more information and be able to help our bodies continue to go up in frequency. So I think that's a really cool thing. When we all start doing the healing around our chakras, we want to remember to look at, does it need to be replaced? Does it need to be upgraded? What gifts can I give each one of my chakras? Are they balanced? Are they working to their utmost capacity? Clear the karma and agreements and reassign the beings. All of that stuff is really, really helpful for us to do so that we can have our chakras constantly going up in frequency with us, right? That's one of the really cool things that we always want to do, is to take our body energetically, physically, mentally, astrally, take our bodies with us as we go up in frequency. We did have a really crazy Friday with the new moon, lots of new energies coming onto the planet and clearing out the old stuff. So we want to remember to take our chakras with us. So I have just a couple minutes more. I want to address some of those myths that people have about their chakras. Let's go back to this. There are chakras on the bottoms of our feet. There are chakras on our hands. It is a great thing to take your shoes off and walk around on the beach, walk around in the grass, walk around in the earth. It is absolutely a great thing. The reason why we feel so good when we do that is because we are bringing those energies up through our body. We're actually bringing them up through our earth channels. We're bringing those energies up, and it absolutely does help. If you feel kind of out of sorts, not being able to connect to yourself, some of that is in your chakras. Some of that anxiety does sit in your chakras. And if you get outside and you start walking and connecting to the earth and whatever is available to you, that is absolutely going to help. It is also going to help if you ask Source for a healing. Remember, we just keep going back to that. We keep circling back to that. Asking Source, ask somebody in the angelic realm. If you have a particular angel you like to call on, ask them for assistance. Absolutely will help, will make a difference, and will help you keep your chakras clear and functioning in the best order that they can. Let's see some other myths that people have, because we've already talked about the colors are not necessarily, or the colors are not the colors are not the colors of the rainbow. You will not see those colors in there. There are lots of ideas about having to open up your sixth chakra, having to open up your fourth chakra. And When people are talking about that, they are talking about making yourself more accessible to that information. So all of that is coming back to asking for healings, coming back to cleaning it up. If you know somebody or you are someone who knows how to blow up a chakra and to replace a chakra, absolutely, you can either do that for somebody else or you can do that for yourself. That is a really great opportunity. I also know that there are a lot of you who watch these videos who are able to bring in some more information. You're able to make some goal lines of connection between what you currently have and what you might like on the 11th plane of the astral or in a crystal library on another planet. It's really an awesome opportunity to practice more of that healing, right? It's a very cool opportunity. So one of the things we are doing is there's a number of people who are watching these videos who are having their chakras replaced and having their chakras upgraded. I think that's a really cool opportunity to have. There's a number of people who have been asking me on Facebook about doing that. And I think it was last Thursday, I had somebody say, is $150 too much money to pay to have your chakras replaced, healed, balanced, whatever it is? And I'm like, if that's all they're doing, yes, that's way too much money to spend. But if they are doing a ton of other healing while you are getting that done as well, then it is an amazing deal. And I certainly know a lot of people who are busy doing that kind of stuff. Don't pay $150 just for your chakras, but pay $150 to have a lot more of those low frequencies and pain and fear and anguish. For some reason, we're getting anguish for those things to be moved out for you. And there are a lot of people around who know how to do that and would be happy to do that. So let's see. We've talked about the shape of the chakras. We've talked about what chakras do. We've talked about what color they are. They are iridescent. They are not the colors of the rainbow. We've talked about some of the myths that are out there about chakras. And somewhere in my house, I have a book that's probably about this thick that talks about the chakras and what the chakras do and all sorts of details, the crystals that you can use for the chakras and the different poses, yoga poses that you can do to help the chakras. All of those yoga poses are a great thing to do. You can do them to heal a chakra, but you can do them just because they're really great for your body. All of those crystals that are out there, there are definitely crystals that you can use for certain healings. You want to make sure that you have cleared the crystal first. Remember that a crystal can create energy to heal, or a crystal can create energy to harm. So you want to do that first. You can put it in the freezer. You can check with your soul. You can give it a healing. But you want to know that you check in if that's what you're supposed to do. Are you supposed to use a crystal to help with something like that? You know, so there's my point in this is that there are lots of information. There is lots of information out there about chakras, and you can check in with your own information. You can always send me a message and ask me about particular information that you see out there about chakras. But you want to know that it is really important to heal your chakras. It is really easy to heal your chakras. It is something that can happen very quickly. You can ask Source Creator God to give you a healing around your chakras to help you feel less off, to help you feel more connected. You can always ask for gifts. It is a lot easier than what most of us think, which is the case for everything. And I want to thank all of you for joining me today. It's been an interesting conversation about chakras, and I look forward to seeing what is going to come up next time. if you have a particular question, there's something you'd really like to talk about, please don't hesitate to post it on my Facebook page, because I'm definitely a person who loves to have more conversation generated from questions than from me just creating it myself. But I hope you all have a great week and you take some time to do some healing on your chakras. Have a great day.